Maybe I'll kick it off by asking one. Is there any pitfall or trap, anything that people do wrong that really makes them get quite a lot less out of tactics or calculation than they could do?
Yes, there really is. So that is that they focus too much on whether or not they get a problem right or not. So what you're trying to do in a training session, you should define that. And I think that's really the most important thing. So if we're saying that you want to get better at chess, now that inevitably includes either learning more or thinking differently. If we talk about calculation, it's definitely thinking differently. Now, if you sit down with exercises and just try to solve them and only focused on is am I right or wrong, and then do it in the same way as you always have done with no reflection on how you're doing, how you're approaching them, you will get marginally better. It's sort of like trying to improve your tennis by just running around and not at all ever thinking about technique. My first tennis lesson I had with a coach, and this at this point I was already close to 40. We with this particular coach, and I just had this sort of like felt more and more like I needed back to basics approach. So I started out asking, how should I hold the racket?
Mhm.
I was on the second team out of like five, and he's like, what are you talking about? You know how to hold the racket?" I was saying, "Yeah, well, let's start there anyway. How should I hold the racket?" I was sort of in my mind. I was sort of thinking about back to when I had learned to drive a car, where the first thing I wanted to learn was how to stop the car because I thought everything else would sort of follow. But anyway, so I'm like, okay. He said, okay,